patience, dedication, self-reflection, responsibility, respect. The list could go on. These are among the many concepts that I myself have personally learned from educators in my life. My name is ESLTestimony. I am a bilingual student. In 2003, it was announced to me that my newlywed mother and I would move to the United States. I was devastated. I had lived and always wanted to live in Monterrey, Mexico. I did not want to move away from my father, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, to a city I'd never heard of, let alone knew if I'd like. I was so overwhelmed with all the new changes in my life, but most of all, I was worried. I was worried about school, worried about doing poorly due to my newfound language barrier. For the first time in my 6 years of life, I was worried about my ability to communicate. Every time I left my house, I was reminded that I lived amongst 300 million people who spoke a language I did not know. I constantly had headaches, and I was miserable because although people were friendly to me and showered me with warm smiles, I knew that I could only return those smiles half-heartedly with an overly rehearsed, I don't speak English. How I hated those 4 words. I was convinced they escaped my mouth more than air ever did. Coming across an occasional Spanish speaker would temporarily soothe my sorrows. But there was always a parting time, and I was yet again to face the world of noises and smiles. Knowing that Texas was my new home was so overwhelming. I would forever be trapped, unable to communicate, unless I learned the language of those around me. It seems so simple, but to a 6-year-old it's rocket science. So I found myself on an August night, wondering what my new school would be like, and if the kids and teachers were really going to speak in Spanish to me. The first grade was really hard. Although the instructional component was there, the social interaction was challenging, because many students were English speakers. As the years progressed, my ability to interact and excel, both within and without the classroom, increased. Before I knew it, I was making friends in the playground with kids who spoke only English. And I was watching TV shows and I was understanding. But most importantly, I was finally communicating. As ESL and bilingual teachers, you are the ones who grant students the communication skills they will use for the remainder of their new lives. Although there were instructional assistants in my classrooms, I rarely employed their academic assistants, making my teacher the source of my support during my bilingual experience. I had my share of bilingual teachers. Nevertheless, there are some whose classes I remember more vividly than others, due to their lively spirits and their encouraging personality. While some days, traffic on your way to work, or spilling your coffee in the morning, or whatever problems you encounter seem like a reason not to smile, please remember, to your students, you are their support and happiness for that day. So smile and joke around about the coffee stain or the spinach in your teeth, and just make memories with your students. Please know that your students are trying hard every day. I know I was. Sometimes we get tired. We get tired of not understanding. Tired of knowing that we are working a little bit harder than most kids our age. Tired of having to translate everything you are saying. Tired of working around the clock simply to communicate the same way that everybody else does. Be patient, but most of all, ask your students how they feel about their learning in class, about their social interactions with other students, and just their progress overall. We know you are busy. You have to teach, you have to explain, you have to translate, encourage, and be a role model all day long. But know that when we turn 18 and we're getting ready to walk the stage, we remember you, and your work brings tears to not just our eyes, but our parents' eyes, and everybody that knows our story. Some of the greatest bilingual teachers I had were the ones who did what I needed, not what I wanted. What I'm trying to say is, push your students every day. Teach them that they have a potential that exceeds anything they could have ever imagined. I remember one of my favorite memories from 3rd grade was when my teacher introduced me to all English days. Needless to say, it was a challenge, but it was so rewarding to know that we were finally understanding for a full day. My primary language is precious to me, as it likely will be for many of your students. For it is in that language that I received encouragement from my biggest fans, my where I plan to major in, surprisingly, English, on a generous scholarship. I hope to eventually enter the Nelson Wood Law Early Admission Program to graduate law school in 6 rather than 7 years. I have received many blessings since that August 9th of 2003. I have received from Northside GT enrichment, a mentorship through ISM, musical education, leadership skills, debate skills, amazing peers, AP credit in courses that are English. But most of all, I have received by a group of teachers just like you the greatest gift that I could have ever been given, the gift of communication. You empower students every day to reach goals they would have never dreamt of setting. So thank you for my education, and thank you for educating the generations to come. It is thanks to you that today I